We're purely going to do that episode just so we can understand, does this resonate with our current audience, and or do we gain a new audience from doing so? I think, in some ways I hate to say this, but a lot of marketing is science, right? You have to be creative enough to think up the ideas, sure, but you actually have to then get the data to then learn from it, right? So you might have in the same way a scientist would have a theory or a hypothesis. You would go, I think this is the case. The same when we work with clients and we're looking to try and get a client a certain objective. It's like, okay, well, in theory, we think you want to talk to this kind of person who's this demographic who lives roughly around this area. And now what we're going to do is we're going to test that theory and see what happens. The thing that he does more than others is he will do exactly what we described, which was he will do the and methodology when it comes to, we know what works, we're going to continue that, so we're going to say we're going to do that every week, but then we'll have a bonus episode which is purely for testing. We don't care whether that episode is going to get 5 views, 10 views, 1 million views, or 100 million views, or whatever it is. We're purely going to do that episode just so we can understand, does this resonate with our current audience, and or do we gain a new audience from doing so? And I think if you scale this really down into the majority of people who are maybe consuming this, who are maybe smaller businesses or like, one or two, maybe two, maybe up to 10 employees. If you take that same thought process, as long as you have the bandwidth and the resources to be able to do so, of course, you'll be able to, quote, outpace some of your competitors if you move quickly, because you'll be able to say, okay, cool, let's test something, let's see if it works. Okay, cool, it worked. So now we can do this on top of everything else we already know works. So every time you do that, you're adding more fuel to that fire and that engine as a whole. So it's going to, or using the snowball analogy, it's going to gain more snow going down the hill, right? And the more compounding you have, the faster it grows, so on, so on, so on.